Well, hey guys, welcome back to the shop, or everybody, I should say. I shouldn't say guys. I mean, there's maybe some females watching this, but one thing all us guys forget on this road to the No Name Nationals is you got people out there that's following your channel that don't know a lot of stuff, and they're wanting to be able to get into this. So this video right here, man, I've got the pistons sitting out here, rings. Let's size some rings, get them on the pistons, show people how that is done. For the guys that don't know, right? All y'all guys going to No Name Nationals, y'all got this, but you forget about your core audience that's just, tuning in because they don't know. So anyway, let's get this. I'm going to put some rings on this. We're going to size this block up a little bit, and we're going to find out if the guy that bored this done a good job or didn't. And there's a couple little things in here that might sound a little bit stupid to you people, but hey, this is something I learned over the years. So hang on, here we go. All right, guys, first off, this rod right here had to put on, right? Because it was the one that was spun the bearing. So the machine shop put, you can see, new rod on this. Now, let me explain this to you. I'm not saying you got to do this every time, but it's one of them things that I got burned on a couple of times back in the younger years when a machine shop puts a new rod on something. It's best to weigh them. All right, piston, rod, the whole 9 yards. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna weigh these pistons, 2 or 3 on that same side, right? Because if they're not within tolerances, we have lost balance on the internals of the engine, which is going to shake the crap out of you. And the reason I know this is it's happened to me twice. Because I trusted the machine shop to do what they were supposed to do, and they didn't. Now, the guy I'm dealing with now, he's dead on it. But let's just say, I've been here and done this too many times. But so I always check that stuff. So hang on. All right, so we got our scale out here. I do have it on something that's fairly solid. That's a must. And I got it on kilograms. Now, if you don't have a rod change or anything in the engine, this is not something you need to worry about. But like I said, man, I've been in this road too many times. So we had, like I said, this rod put on new. And if you see this right here compared to this, right, it's something to be cautious of. So what I want to do is, you don't have to measure them all. We just need to measure this one against, old against the new. So we're gonna set this down on here. Keep it rod straight up. What we got? Right, well, it's bouncing back and forth, but that last digit really is inconsequential. So, all right, now let's take our new one. That was what? 1, 2, 2, 3, something like that. But the problem is, with the new one, it's not going to want to sit there. Let's try that. So we're at 1220. And like I said, this last number is inconsequential. This number changes. We have an issue, right? So at that point, if that second number had been off on that scale, all of this plus the crank needs to go back to the machine shop for rebalancing. But I'm confident in this. This ain't that bad because this is a daily driver, right? Now, let's get on to the rings. All right, guys, I'm just using, like I said, daily driver. Just Hastings rings, standard. This is what I got. Right. Now, first thing you want to do is pull this out, the instruction sheet, right? Never forget about these. I call them destruction rings. And it will tell you everything they want you to do with these rings. The number one ring on these, which is this one, you can put it in any way you want to, right? Doesn't matter. But the second ring down, I'll see if I can get you, you see that? It probably ain't gonna focus. You see that dot right there? I don't have nobody here to hold the camera, but you see that dot right there? That goes up, okay? There's really no way to mess up on just standard rings. Just putting the oil ring in. It's just this and, hang on, two little steel rings that hold it in. When you get up in the chromoly ring and stuff like that, yeah, you need to pay attention to that because there's a way to turn that cage the wrong way. But just a standard engine rebuilding with standard rings, you're good. So now I've got oil ring on, all of them except these two that I was weighing. So let's get back to that and we'll see what happens. All right, the specs on this little motor for the rings, 7 to 17. I like to hit in the middle of that, about 12. I think I figured the math out. Yeah, about 12 ring gap. Now, for you guys that don't understand ring gap, right? Sorry, there was something in the center wall. Ring gap is the gap that's left after you stick the ring in the cylinder, and then you got to measure that. And, hopefully it's where you want it to be. If you're just doing a re-ringing, that can be kind of iffy. Used to, back in the day, I don't know how it is now, but you used to be able to buy rings, 1 or 2 thousandths oversized, and then resize them. I'm going to show you a little trick that my granddad showed me, if you want to get into this. But if you got a ring gap that's too big or whatever, just take the rings back, man. Get you some that's, 5 thousandths over. I don't even know if they do that anymore. Or 10 thousandths over and file them till they fit the way you want them to. But hey, let's see how these fit, okay? All right, this is gonna be kind of iffy doing this one-handed. Because I don't have nobody here. But here's our compression ring. Hang on a minute, man. Let me get it stuffed down in there. Okay, we got a ring in here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to walk over here. Then we're going to piston. Right? And all we're going to do is we're going to push this piston on the top of that ring till we get it down to about right here. So, here we go. All right. Now we're ready to measure. And like I said, man, I looked for 12. But not sure we're gonna get that. Let's see. Hang on. My bad. You see that little gap? Oh, you might not be able to. Right there. Right? That's what we're measuring. So, hang on. And let's see. Oh, you can see it real good right there. Light coming up underneath. So, I'm hoping for 12. Let's see what happens. Alright, so here's 12. Alright, with the feeler gauge. I already got them all out here. Come on. Not, I know you can't see it, but not bad. What's the next one? Let's go 14. Okay. And let's try it again. Okay. Still a little loose. So let's go up to 15. If this thing hits 17, I'm not going to be happy. No. 15's what we got. So 15, that's not bad. But what's going to happen is as soon as the ring seat, that thing's going to open up another 1,000. So now we're at 16. And then after about 20,000 miles, we're going to be at 17. So we're right there at the mark where hopefully everything seats in, does fine, and it'll last 200,000-300,000 miles. If not, and it keeps going, we're going to have an oil burner. Now, next thing we want to do, right? Here we go. In order to find out if this engine, or they done a good boring job on this motor, we're going to take this same ring and we're going to stick it down in each cylinder at the same location, all the way around this thing. And we're going to measure that gap. If that gap don't change, dude, it's a perfect boring job. So let me do that real quick and I'll get back to you. All right, guys, we've been all the way around this thing with that one ring. Measurements didn't change. So this thing is dead on. I would like to have been a little bit tighter, but you know, it is what it is. But it's a daily driver. It's not going to see high RPMs. So 3,500 is about the best this thing's going to do. So now, let me show you guys about resizing rings. My granddad used to have a little ring tool. It was a little grinder, man. He'd go in there and do all that kind of stuff with a little grinder. But he also showed me this little trick. So, hang on. Okay, so a fine tooth file, right? And you will take them rings, right? I don't want to mess with these because they're right where they need to be, but and squeeze them together and run up and down through there, man. and just keep going back to that block till you get it right where you want to. But again, I know there's machines out there that does this stuff. I mean, you can see my shop. I do professional grinding stuff, so, you know, but I'm one of them hands-on kind of people. So, anyway, hope that helps you out. Just remember, man, when you're doing that, you need to just a fine tooth file and then squeeze that thing together on that file and just barely. Don't go crazy with it, just barely. Run up and down, right? And you just keep coming back to the block, measuring it till you get it where you want to go. All right, I hope that kind of helped you out. Now, let's put some rings on the piston, right? That's what the whole goal was, but I felt it was necessary for people that don't really know. This can turn out to be a long, drawn-out situation, but 90% of the time, when you pull rings out, and if it's been boiled right and stuff like that, they'll just go right on there. No big deal, okay? All right, guys, we're going to put rings on one. After you see one, it's pretty redundant, right? We're going to take our cage, right, for our oil ring. And we're going to pop her in here, right? Right in that oil ring groove. And then we're going to, there's our separator. So we're going to go about 45 degrees off of that. And we're going to put this little spot right here, right down on that, right? So there's the ball holding our cage together. And then we're going to spin this thing to about 45 degrees. And we're going to put the top one in. Sometimes that top one can be a little pain. I'm getting kind of tired too. So, but there we go. All right, right? So now our oil ring is in place. Now, our second ring, which is, you know, a backup for the compression ring, we're going to make sure, which I know you can't see it on the camera, we're going to make sure our dot is pointing up towards the top of the cylinder. And we're going to run this. Oh, let me tell you this. Always take your rings, man, just run them around like this, right? Let me turn it all the way around that piston and make sure there's nothing stopping that. But then we're going to find the top of that ring and we're going to just thread it on here. All right. Hang on. There it goes. Come on, butthole. There you go. So, second ring in, right? Now we're going to take our compression ring, which, according to our destructions, it doesn't matter, right? So there you go. There's a piston with proper rings on it. Now, people talk a lot about clocking rings. There's people say, no need, no what, whatever. But what I generally do, man, is I'll clock them all. like 45 degrees from each other, right? And just walk around that piston. If you don't know what I'm talking about there, I'm running out of time. But I'll clock them about 45 degrees from each other, the hole, right? And this hole, right? This hole, that hole, and wherever the holes are on your oil ring, just 45 degrees from each other. And everything generally turns out right, because these rings are moving around in that engine when you do it, but you really need that done when you fire it up, because that way, you know, compression, if you line this stuff up straight up like this, right, hole over hole, you're gonna have a heck of a time getting that motor started. So it's always 45, 45, and 45 on the oil ring, and you're generally pretty good. All right, guys, I may not have helped anybody out. I don't know. My channel's all about, hey, this is how it's done. But, you know, I'll give you all the information that I have on doing rings, how to check for a proper bore on your engine. You know, there's so much stuff more that we can go into, but I'm tired. If you want to know the truth about it. I hope this helps some of you people out that don't really know but really want to know. That's what my channel's about. You know, this no-name national stuff and racing and stuff, man, that's all secondary. I want to go down here and do this stuff, but my main goal is people that don't know and want to know. That's my goal. If I can show you a couple of little techniques or a couple of little things that will, you know, help you out, I've done my job for today. But anyway, with that said, man, I'm off of here. I think it's time to go take a nap. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, you know, do all that stuff with whatever y'all do. But past that, man, I'm off here. Y'all have a good night or a good day when you see this. And I hope things are good in your world. Your family's home and safe, and everybody is happy. We'll see you on the next one.